What's up, YouTube? It's Ali Cheers, and I'm coming at you guys with a different type of video today. I'm actually going to be talking about my testimony, and I know these type of videos aren't typically liked on YouTube by some, and if you don't like this kind of videos, you're not religious, you don't have to watch it, no one's forcing you, you can exit out at this time. I know I was supposed to upload a prom series part 2 video today on January 9th, but instead I am filming this video, and I really want to film this video today. It's been on my mind like all day, so I really want to do this today instead of focusing on doing the prom video today. So I will be uploading that video along with part 3 on Wednesday. So you'll have part 2 and part 3 on Wednesday. So basically I'm just gonna jump right into this because I don't want this video to be like super duper long, but I feel like somebody probably needs to hear this because testimonies help other people out. Basically, let me just give you some background before I tell you the 2 instances I have. I am a Christian, for those of you who don't know. And I went to Christian school for 9 years. Now, the thing about Christian school is it can help you grow in your faith or it can break your faith. And I'm saying that because at Christian school, you take a Bible class. Well, at the one I went to, you took a Bible class. And a lot of times it's really easy to go through the motions because you're just trying to get an A in class. Most classes, you know, sometimes you have those days where you're just going through the motions. You're just trying to get the work done so you can get the A and pass the test. So they have that a lot of times at Christian schools. You have Bible class, which is like a class you take every single day. Well, in my school you did because we had like the classes every day. And I feel like that can really turn off a lot of people from wanting to continue their faith and continue to grow in Christ. For me, it was a little bit, once I started getting towards 8th grade, it was a little bit tedious to me to continue to learn about the same stories over and over again. And I feel like sometimes I was like, what's the point in me taking this class? But the one thing about Christian school that I really did like was you had chapel once a week, which is basically like a worship service. So for people who didn't necessarily go to church on Sundays or didn't go to church at all, they could use that as like their worship. Basically for us it was on Wednesdays, I believe, which I did really like that. And I did like that sometimes teachers would hold little like Bible study groups. And you can meet with the teacher and basically talk to them about your faith and kind of grow through that. But in Bible class, it was kind of, a lot of people didn't really share personal stories in Bible class because you didn't necessarily know everyone in your class. Like you may have not been as close to them as you wanted to be. So a lot of people didn't share. So it wasn't until 9th grade when I started going to my first public school. The change from private school to public school kind of depends on the person. I can't necessarily say that it had an impact on my faith or my relationship with Christ, but I did have 2 instances once I started going to a public school that really brought me closer to Christ and really helped me grow my faith. And the reason why I wanted to do this video today really urgently is because I had a lot of stuff in my mind. I've been praying about this video and things to say in this video for a couple of days now, and I was gonna film it tomorrow, but I really just wanted to say everything that's fresh in my mind now so that I don't leave anything out. But basically the first instance that really kind of opened my eyes and helped me really realize that I need to get right with Christ was sophomore year. I decided to take an AP class, and on top of taking the AP class, I was in ASB and I was a cheer captain. Now for my school, ASB starts at 7:10 in the morning, which is a 0 period, and for many people school starts at 8:10, so that's an hour early. So that means I can be at school for a whole extra hour, which means if you stay up late doing homework, you still have to wake up early to go to class because it's still a class, with tardies and absences and things like that. So in my head, I thought the AP class was going to be hard, but I didn't think it was going to be as hard as it was going to be. And I really, I would seek help, but I wouldn't get the help that I needed from people at school. Not to put anyone down or anything, but just the help that I needed in that class, I wasn't able to get. So I spent a whole semester in this class struggling. I was trying my hardest. I would spend hours and hours and hours and hours doing homework in this class, studying, trying to understand, watching videos, trying to understand. I just could not understand the class. And I remember I had a couple of other people who I knew that were struggling too, but if we're all struggling, how are we going to help each other? There was a few kids who really took that class and it was really easy for them, but for some people, school is just easy. For me, school has never been just I can show up and get an A. For me, I have to work hard. And the AP class was really no joke. And then on top of having to be at school at 7:10 in the morning every day, and then staying late to practice after school, for cheer. So I was just struggling. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was meeting with my counselor at school, my mom, my counselor. There's just a lot of like problems, because the thing about taking this AP class is not only did my grade in this AP class suffer, but the grades in my other class suffered, because I was spending so much time doing AP homework. I was neglecting my homework in, English and math. So then when it came down to it, my grades were really low. And I really never had low grades until sophomore year, until the semester, because the AP class really just like, it shook me. Like I was struggling so hard to be able to try to even pass the test and try to pass the class. And it was really hard for me. And people may have different experiences. Some people had a really easy experience in that class, but that just wasn't me. And I remember it was probably towards the end of the semester, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this class, there's no way I can make it through. Like, I'm not going to take this class over again because I'm not going to pass it. And I remember talking to my counselor, and Lord behold, there was 2 spots left in a regular history class. Now, at my school, I don't know about other schools. In my school, they like set up your schedule for you. So I had AP World History first period, so I had to transfer to a first period regular history class in order for me to be able to transfer. Like, for my school, they set your schedule up based on the classes you need, and like space-wise, my school isn't that big, so obviously classes can't be overpopulated. So for me, I needed to transfer into a first period regular history class, or I wasn't going to be able to transfer. And there were 2 spots left in the first period class. And when I tell you, like, that was nothing but God. Because I've had probably 3 or 4 other people who had the same problem that I had, and met with counselors, and they weren't able to transfer out of their class period because they didn't have a space for that period that they were in. And I was like, that's crazy, because nobody else, I don't think anyone else transferred out of that class at the semester like I did, because there was no space for them in a regular history class. One kid transferred out at the beginning of the year, which I probably should have saw the signs and transferred out at that point, but you live and you learn, so yeah. And basically, after I got out of the AP class, I got into a regular history class, and it was so much easier. I actually was able to understand the work and do the work, and the teacher I had was great, honestly. I loved that class, and I usually hate history, so that's like saying something that I love the class, but the class went by so well. So that's this instance number 1. That was sophomore year, and that was my first instance of really opening my eyes and seeing, like, God really has my back, and I need to better my relationship with him, because he has my back, and he helped me out so much, because I could have been stuck in AP for the whole, year, and then that would have messed me up for graduation requirements, because I would have had basically an unpassed class. And I don't know about other schools, but if you don't pass a class, you have to retake it. And basically, it's harder when you, like, fail both semesters of a class, because that means your senior year, you have to take both semesters of that class, whether you're taking it, like, physically in class or taking it online, which is just extra work to worry about senior year on top of applications and, senior project. So that's instance number 1. So for instance number 2, this happened to me it was junior year. So this was last year, because I'm a senior now. It was junior year. It was probably around January. I think it was January 24th, if I can remember correctly. And I remember it was a Thursday. And I remember I had to drive from my school all the way across town to where I go for tumbling. I'm a cheerleader, if you don't know by now, and I would go to a gym to train for tumbling to help me, like, in cheer and things like that. If you don't know what tumbling is, it's like flips and stuff. So I remember it was raining, or either it was raining or it had just stopped raining, but the ground was really slick. And I remember I was like, okay, I have like a 45 minute drive, and it's raining. I want to say it was raining while I was driving, and then it stopped, like, midway. And I remember I was leaving school, one of my friends, I won't say her name because I don't know if she wants her name mentioned in this video, but she stopped me and she was like, hey, be safe. And I was like, okay, I will. And she's like, no, I'm serious, like, be safe. And I remember I was like, okay, like, I'll be safe, like, I got this. So once I started driving, like, I had to leave right after school to make it. My class was at 4. This is at 4 or 4:15, which that doesn't matter, but I basically had to leave right after school to get there. And so basically I'm driving to tumbling, no big deal. It stopped raining, like I said. And then once I got close to tumbling, I had to drive on this street, which is a 2-way street. So basically a 2-way street, it's like one set of cars going one way and one set of cars going the other way. So 2 lanes. And I remember this is like in a country area. From like where I live is like a countryish area. And so on both sides, like, so here's the 2 lanes, and then on both sides is like a ditch on both sides, and it's like a fence. I think there were animals on the other side of the fence, but I don't really know. I can't remember that part. But I remember as I'm driving, I was just driving fine. Like, I had driven this way I've been driving this way for probably like a month or so, so I was pretty comfortable driving on this street, but I don't know what happened today, like this day, that threw it all off. But for some reason, once I started, like as I was going, my steering wheel started to shake while I'm driving. And mind me, it's 2 lanes, so so basically there's really no room to be swerving and going places because the other lane is cars coming onto you. So basically, my steering wheel started to shake. At this point, I can't remember all the details clearly. Like, when people asked me afterwards, I was like, okay, like, you kind of go into shock when this kind of stuff happens. But I do remember, so mind me, I'm in this lane. I'm going this direction. I don't know my north, south, east, west, so sorry. But I'm going, which would be, I guess, this would be north. I'm just going to say this is north, not south. So I was going north, and as my steering wheel is like, I'm grabbing and holding on my control, my car swerved into the other lane. So I'm still facing forward, like I could still be going straight, but I'm swerving here where cars would be coming onto me. I swerved back into my lane where I could just keep going straight. And then the last time I swerve and I spin in a whole circle, like, so I spin all the way through the other lane and into a ditch. So my car ended up facing south. So, like, I was driving north, and my car spun and was facing south. And when I tell you, like, seconds, not even, like, it wasn't even that long, seconds after my car hit the ditch, another car passed by. And I'm saying that because, like, if I would have left school seconds later, I would have been, if I would have swerved one more time, that car would have hit me head on, and the whole accident would have been way worse than what it was. I walked out the accident with no scratches. All I had was whiplash, which it's just like a little neck issue. I had to wear like a little neck brace for probably 3 days. But going through that accident and seeing that car pass by seconds later and knowing that could have hit me or I could have died, like, things like this really wake you up and really make you think, like, wow, like, the Lord really has my back, because I really didn't have to make it out of that situation. I don't have to be here today. I could have been dead a whole year ago, almost a year ago, because January 24th. And things like that really wake you up. And this world is so crazy. Like, it's really time to get right with the Lord. Like, the things that happen, like shootings at the airport, shootings at school, shootings at church, there's really nowhere you can go to be safe. So you have to be right with God now, because you don't know, oh, I'll build with God maybe later this year. No, because when's later? Things happen all the time. There's car accidents, there's people who drive crazy, there's car accidents, there's drunk drivers, there's drivers under the influence of marijuana. There's so many things going on that are just so wrong, like, it's crazy. And I'm saying all this to say, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, you can't prove that God is real. I know God is real. I don't have to explain to you. I know God is real. I have my Bible, and I can quote you. And I'm not saying this to say that I'm a perfect Christian, because I'm far from perfect. I'm still building, and I'm still growing in my faith with Christ, and I'm still reading and studying and learning, because obviously those 2 instances I went through were definitely eye-openers and really built my relationship and really helped build me up. But I feel like there's so many more things that people go through that, they have as their testimony. But I basically just want people to know that God really has your back. Like, a lot of people think, like, I don't know, like, yeah, I'm a Christian, I go to church, but, like, I don't really know, like, I just kind of pray here and there. Like, when I tell you, pray, like, ask the Lord to take out people in your life who aren't there for you. When I tell you, I kid you not, like, less than a week later, people will stop talking to you, will stop being your friends, will stop being as close to you. And you'll think, like, wow, it's my close friend, like, why are you not talking to me? That's because God has your back. God is helping you out. He's taking people from your life who aren't there for you, who don't have true intentions to be there for you. I can't tell you how many times I said that prayer, and people have just, they're not my friend anymore. Like, where are they? And I'm saying this because that is so important. Like, God really has, like, He has your best intentions at mind. And I know it may not always be my plan, or what I want in that time, but I know, you know what, I may not get this job, I may not get into this college, I may not be friends with this person anymore, but God has bigger and better for me down the line. And things like that you have to understand. And a couple of things, or a couple of apps that I feel like are really helpful and will really keep you going sometimes when you feel low are Sprinkle of Jesus and Life Lessons. Sprinkle of Jesus will send you notifications on your phone. I'll probably link it down below. They'll send you notifications, and they're just little like motivational quotes, and Life Lessons will do the same. Life Lessons I don't think Life Lessons sends you like biblical and like Christian quotes. It kind of sends you just like motivational quotes. But Sprinkle of Jesus will send you biblical, like Christian quotes, like things about like mentioning God and things like that. And they also have like things you can purchase. There's all kinds of things on the app, so I'll link them down below so that you can access that as well. But I just wanted to do this video because I feel like somebody out there needed to hear this. I don't know who the person is, but I feel like someone needs to hear this because, you know, sometimes hearing other people's testimonies will really get you to be like, wow, like God really does it all. Seeing what's going on in the world, like, that will really open your eyes and be like, wow, like, it's time to get right with God now. Like, it's time for me to build myself up and let my pride go and start going to church if that's what I have to do. And I'm not saying that going to church is going to make you the perfect Christian, because you can go to church and go through the motions. It's more about, you know, studying and building a relationship with God. Like, it shouldn't be like a hassle. You should be happy with the relationship you have with God. Don't be embarrassed about your relationship with God. Feel free to talk about God to your friends. Like, and I understand, especially for people in high school, all your friends are going to be Christians because, you know, a lot of people have to have the religion their parents have, and it's kind of hard for some people to have the say of like, no, I don't want to do that anymore until they turn 18. But be that friend to talk to your friends, to pray for your friends. When your friends are going through stuff, pray for them. Ask them to pray for you. And if you find friends at school that are Christians, keep them accountable. Like, hey, like, I'm going through this. Can you pray for me? Like, hey, have you been reading your Bible lately? Like, how's that going? Like, things like that, because that's really what we're here for. Like, I feel like my purpose on earth here is to bring others to Christ. And what would I be doing if I'm not fulfilling my purpose on earth? That's my job, to bring others to Christ. And that's basically what I hope that I could have helped somebody or touched somebody or maybe allowed somebody to really build their relationship with Christ through this video. So thank you for watching. I hope that you guys liked it.